K Class 12th Humanities Students. In this video we will be covering 250 MCQs of History Chapter 2, Kings, Farmers and Towns, c. 600 BCE 600 CE, for Board Exam 2027. Q1. What was the long span of time following the end of the Harappan civilization? A. Ganas or Sangha's. B. Egypt. C. 1500 years. D. Silver and copper. Answer. C. 1500 years. Q2. Which Veda was composed by people living along the Indus and its tributaries during this period? A. Rigveda. B. Pandyas. C. Yodayas. D. East and North Africa and West Asia. Answer. A. Rigveda. Q3. Where did new modes of disposal of the dead, known as megaliths, emerge? A. Central and South India. B. Megasthenes. C. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. D. Allahabad pillar inscription. Answer. A. Central and South India. Q4. In what millennium BCE did megaliths emerge in Central and South India? A. Near the Bay of Bengal coast, Bengal. B. 6th century CE. C. 1st millennium BCE. D. Bharukacha. Answer. C. 1st millennium BCE. Q5. What were the dead often buried with in megalithic burials? A. Yodayas. B. Iron tools and weapons. C. Vellalar. D. Chariots. Answer. B. Iron tools and weapons. Q6. From which century BCE is there evidence of the emergence of early states, empire, and kingdoms? A. Receives gifts from subordinates. B. Satavahanas. C. Gahapati. D. 6th century BCE. Answer. D. 6th century BCE. Q7. What is epigraphy? A. Ujjaini. B. China. C. Along routes of communication. D. The study of inscriptions. Answer. D. The study of inscriptions. Q8. Who deciphered Brahmi and Kharosti scripts? A. Banabhatta. B. One of the best known legal texts of early India. C. James Prinsep. D. A deity. Answer. C. James Prinsep. Q9. In which decade were Brahmi and Kharosti scripts deciphered? A. Vellalar. B. Pataligrama. C. 1830s. D. Taxila. Answer. C. 1830s. Q10. What was James Prinsep's profession? A. Northern black polished ware. B. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. C. Officer in the Mint of the East India Company. D. Iron-tipped plowshare. Answer. C. Officer in the Mint of the East India Company. Q11. What does the term Piyadasi mean? A. Ujjaini. B. A deity. C. Pleasant to behold. D. Coastal Arisa. Answer. C. Pleasant to behold. Q12. To which famous ruler did the title Piyadasi refer? A. South India. B. Asoka. C. Denguna. D. Agriculture. Answer. B. Asoka. Q13. What are inscriptions usually engraved on? A. Goldsmith Sovanika. B. Hard surfaces such as stone, metal, or pottery. C. Coastal Arisa. D. A people of Central Asian origin. Answer. B. Hard surfaces such as stone, metal, or pottery. Q14. What language were the earliest inscriptions written in? A. Prakrit. B. Southern tip of India. C. A people of Central Asian origin. D. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. Answer. A. Prakrit. Q15. Which century is often regarded as a major turning point in early Indian history? A. 150 years. B. C. 321 BCE. C. 6th century BCE. D. Receives gifts from subordinates. Answer. C. 6th century BCE. Q16. Which of the following developments is associated with the 6th century BCE? A. Kushana. B. By following the course of urine and dung. C. Growing use of iron. D. Yodaya. Answer. C. Growing use of iron. Q17. How many states are mentioned in early Buddhist and Jaina texts as Mahajanapadas? A. 16. B. Gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass, shell and terracotta. C. Semi-arid parts of Punjab and Rajasthan. D. Allahabad pillar inscription. Answer. A. 16. Q18. Which of the following is a frequently mentioned Mahajanapada? A. Middle of the first millennium CE. B. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. C. 6. D. Magadha. Answer. D. Magadha. Q19. What were the oligarchies among the Mahajanapadas known as? A. Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. B. Egypt. C. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. D. Ganas or Sanghas. Answer. D. Ganas or Sanghas. Q20. To which type of state did Mahavira and the Buddha belong? A. Ganas. B. Near the Bay of Bengal coast, Bengal. C. Kharosti. D. Megasthenes. Answer. A. Ganas. Q21. Who collectively shared power in the Ganas or Sanghas? A. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. B. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. C. 6th century BCE. D. Rajas. Answer. D. Rajas. Q22. In the Vijji Sangha, who probably controlled resources such as land collectively? A. Rajas. B. 4th century. C. Along routes of communication. D. Brahmi. Answer. A. Rajas. Q23. What does the term Janapada mean? A. Patna. B. The land where a Jana sets its foot or settles. C. Arbitrating disputes and leadership in warfare. D. The god of rains. Answer. B. The land where a Jana sets its foot or settles. Q24. What did each Mahajanapada have that was often fortified? A. Guptas. B. A capital city. C. Tapping the gold mines of Karnataka. D. Early Tamil Sangam texts. Answer. B. A capital city. Q25. From which century BCE did Brahmanas begin composing the Dharma Sutras? A. 6th century BCE. B. Along routes of communication. C. Devanagari. D. Brahmi. Answer. A. 6th century BCE. Q26. In which language were the Dharma Sutras composed? A. 5. B. A form of government where power is exercised by a group of men. C. Sanskrit. D. Bimbasara. Answer. C. Sanskrit. Q27. Who were ideally expected to be rulers according to the Dharma Sutras? A. Kshatriyas. B. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. C. Gandatindu Jatak. D. Land granted to a Brahmana. Answer. A. Kshatriyas. Q28. What were rulers advised to collect from cultivators, traders, and artisans? A. Early Tamil Sangam texts. B. Punch-marked coins. C. Taxes and tribute. D. Banabhatta. Answer. C. Taxes and tribute. Q29. What was recognized as a legitimate means of acquiring wealth by early states? A. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. B. Raids on neighboring states. C. Chakradasa. D. 150,000. Answer. B. Raids on neighboring states. Q30. What is an oligarchy? A. The Golden Mountain. B. Devanampiya. C. A form of government where power is exercised by a group of men. D. Rigveda. Answer. C. A form of government where power is exercised by a group of men. Q31. According to map 1, which of these was the capital of Magadha initially? A. Gandatindu Jatak. B. Words to make the meaning of sentences clear. C. Samudragupta. D. Rajgir. Answer. D. Rajgir. Q32. Where is Taxila located according to map 1? A. 12th. B. 6th century BCE. C. Gandhara. D. Pastoralists, fisherfolk, hunter-gatherers. Answer. C. Gandhara. Q33. Which Mahajanapada had its capital at Ujjaini? A. 1st millennium BCE. B. Patna. C. Dhamma. D. Avanti. Answer. D. Avanti. Q34. Which Mahajanapada was located near the Arabian Sea? A. The Lion capital. B. Ashmaka. C. Masettuvan. D. Gupta. Answer. B. Ashmaka. Q35. Which capital city was located in the Matsya Mahajanapada? A. The god of death. B. None of the above, no capital listed on map for Matsya. C. Copper plates. D. James Prinsep. Answer. B. None of the above, no capital listed on map for Matsya. Q36. Varanasi was the capital of which Mahajanapada? A. Kashi. B. Pleasant to behold. C. A sword. D. Gupta dynasty. Answer. A Kashi. Q37. Between which centuries did Magadha become the most powerful Mahajanapada? A. 6th and 4th centuries BCE. B. Intense study of Dhamma and instructing people in it. C. Banabhatta. D. Weakening political power. Answer. A. 6th and 4th centuries BCE. Q38. In which present-day state is Magadha located? A. Shanzang. B. The Navy. C. Bihar. D. Shift to plough agriculture. Answer. C. Bihar. Q39. Which resource was especially productive in the Magadha region? A. Major rock edict. B. Agriculture. C. China. D. Devaputra. Answer. B. Agriculture. Q40. Iron mines accessible to Magadha were located in which present-day state? A. Northwest of Meerut. B. Indian Pandits. C. Rigveda. D. Jharkhand. Answer. D. Jharkhand. Q41. Which animal, important for the army, was found in the forests of Magadha? A. Coastal Arisa. B. Elephants. C. Receives gifts from subordinates. D. Major rock edict. Answer. B. Elephants. Q42. Which river and its tributaries provided a cheap and convenient means of communication for Magadha? A. Chariots. B. Ganga. C. Reporters. D. Weakening political power. Answer. B. Ganga. Q43. To what did early Buddhist and Jaina writers attribute the power of Magadha? A. Aramaic and Greek. B. Ruthlessly ambitious kings. C. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. D. 6th century CE. Answer. B. Ruthlessly ambitious kings. Q44. Which of the following was a well-known ambitious king of Magadha? A. 16. B. Guptas. C. Bimbasara. D. Taxes and tribute. Answer. C. Bimbasara. Q45. What was the initial capital of Magadha? A. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. B. Rajagaha. C. The lion capital. D. The navy. Answer. B. Rajagaha. Q46. What does the old name, Rajagaha, mean? A. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. B. Economic change and marginalized groups. C. Indo-Greeks. D. House of the King. Answer. D. House of the King. Q47. In which century BCE was the capital of Magadha shifted to Pataliputra? A. Long distance trade. B. Kharosti. C. 4th century BCE. D. Masittuvan. Answer. C. 4th century BCE. Q48. Pataliputra is the ancient name of which present-day city? A. Along routes of communication. B. The land where Jana sets its foot or settles. C. Patna. D. Greek and Kharosti. Answer. C. Patna. Q49. What does figure 2.2 show? A. Early centuries CE. B. Fortification walls at Rajgir. C. Egypt. D. Officer in the Mint of the East India Company. Answer. B. Fortification walls at Rajgir. Q50. Who founded the Mauryan Empire? A. 6th and 4th centuries BCE. B. Chandragupta Maurya. C. Middle of the 1st millennium CE. D. Prakrit. Answer. B. Chandragupta Maurya. Q51. In which year, approximately, was the Mauryan Empire founded? A. Hard surfaces such as stone, metal, or pottery. B. A capital city. C. Between circa 2nd century BCE and circa 2nd century CE. D. C. 321 BCE. Answer. D. C. 321 BCE. Q52. How far northwest did Chandragupta Maurya extend his control? A. Land granted to a Brahmana. B. Afghanistan and Baluchistan. C. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. D. Ruthlessly ambitious kings. Answer. B. Afghanistan and Baluchistan. Q53. Who was the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya? A. Asoka. B. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. C. Gupta rulers. D. Pandyas. Answer. A. Asoka. Q54. Which present-day region was conquered by Asoka's Kalinga? A. Kshatriyas. B. Devanampiya. C. Bay of Bengal. D. Coastal Arisa. Answer. D. Coastal Arisa. Q55. Who was the Greek ambassador to the court of Chandragupta Maurya? A. Megasthenes. B. Bay of Bengal. C. Gupta. D. A. Sword. Answer. A. Megasthenes. Q56. Which text was probably composed by Kautilya or Chanakya? A. Arthashastra. B. Along routes of communication. C. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. D. 600,000. Answer. A. Arthashastra. Q57. Who was traditionally believed to be the minister of Chandragupta? A. Fortification walls at Rajgir. B. Chanakya. C. Patna. D. Pandyas. Answer. B. Chanakya. Q58. Who was the first ruler to inscribe his messages on stone surfaces? A. Gyanas or Sandhas. B. 600,000. C. Asoka. D. Banabhatta. Answer. C. Asoka. Q59. What did Asoka use inscriptions to proclaim? A. Masituvan. B. 150 years. C. Elephants. D. Dhamma. Answer. D. Dhamma. Q60. In what language were most Asokan inscriptions written? A. Prakrit. B. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. C. 6th century BCE. D. Sanskrit. Answer. A. Prakrit. Q61. In the northwest of the subcontinent, Asokan inscriptions were written in which languages? A. Patna. B. Masituvan. C. Coastal Arisa. D. Aramaic and Greek. Answer. D. Aramaic and Greek. Q62. Most Prakrit inscriptions of Asoka were written in which script? A. Pastoralists, fisherfolk, hunter-gatherers. B. Kannauj. C. Greek and Kharosti. D. Brahmi. Answer. D. Brahmi. Q63. Which script was used for Prakrit inscriptions in the northwest? A. People of Central Asian origin. B. Kharosti. C. A higher ratio of survival of saplings and higher yields. D. Northwest of Meerut. Answer. B. Kharosti. Q64. What is depicted in figure 2.3? A. Rajgir. B. Pali. C. Iron tools and weapons. D. The lion capital. Answer. D. The lion capital. Q65. How many major political centers were there in the Mauryan Empire? A. 5. B. Egypt. C. Kushanas. D. Guptas. Answer. A. 5. Q66. Which of the following was the capital of the Mauryan Empire? A. Shift to plough agriculture. B. Daughter of Chandragupta II. C. 321 BCE. D. Pataliputra. Answer. D. Pataliputra. Q67. Which of these was a provincial center of the Mauryan Empire? A. The study of inscriptions. B. Rigveda. C. Taxila. D. Arbitrating disputes and leadership in warfare. Answer. C. Taxila. Q68. Where were Taxila and Ujjayini situated? A. The persons who commissioned them. B. 6. C. Rajagaha. D. On important long-distance trade routes. Answer. D. On important long-distance trade routes. Q69. What does the name Swarnagiri literally mean? A. Silver and copper. B. The Golden Mountain. C. Ganas. D. A. Answer. B. The Golden Mountain. Q70. For what was Swarnagiri possibly important? A. Allahabad pillar inscription. B. Pathan. C. Tapping the gold mines of Karnataka. D. 5. Answer. C. Tapping the gold mines of Karnataka. Q71. According to map 2, where was a major rock edict found in Gujarat? A. Allahabad pillar inscription. B. Iron-tipped plowshare. C. Girnar. D. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. Answer. C. Girnar. Q72. According to map 2, Sopara was the site of which type of inscription? A. Major rock edict. B. Spectacular stone sculpture. C. On important long-distance trade routes. D. 6th and 4th centuries BCE. Answer. A major rock edict. Q73. Where is the pillar inscription of Topra located relative to Meerut? A. The possibility of an empire. B. Northwest of Meerut. C. Central India, Deccan. D. One of the best known legal texts of early India. Answer. B. Northwest of Meerut. Q74. Which region was known as Kerala Putras on map 2? A. Masittuvan. B. Southern tip of India. C. Dhamma Mahamatta. D. The Navy. Answer. B. Southern tip of India. Q75. Which dynasty kingdom is located in the southernmost part of India on map 2? A. Arthashastra. B. Pandyas. C. Contemporary Roman emperors and Parthian rulers of Iran. D. Copper plates. Answer. B. Pandyas. Q76. Where is Sannati located according to map 2? A. Deccan Plateau. B. 8 years. C. Reporters. D. Compositions in praise of kings in particular, and patrons in general. Answer. A. Deccan Plateau. Q77. What was vital for the existence of the Mauryan Empire along both land and riverine routes? A. Capital city. B. Dhamma Mahamatta. C. Communication. D. Patna. Answer. C. Communication. Q78. According to Mcq'S, how many subcommittees were there for coordinating military activity? A. 6. B. Beloved of the gods. C. Early centuries CE. D. 5. Answer. A. 6. Q79. What did the first military subcommittee look after? A. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. B. Tapping the gold mines of Karnataka. C. One of the best known legal texts of early India. D. The Navy. Answer. D. The Navy. Q80. Which subcommittee was responsible for foot soldiers? A. Greek and Kharosti. B. The land where Jana sets its foot or settles. C. An economic crisis due to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. D. The third. Answer. D. The third. Q81. What was the role of the second military subcommittee? A. Asoka. B. Managed transport and provisions. C. Report to him about the affairs of the people at all times. D. The third. Answer. B. Managed transport and provisions. Q82. What was the fifth military subcommittee responsible for? A. Chariots. B. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. C. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. D. Slaves. Answer. A. Chariots. Q83. Who were the special officers appointed to spread the message of Dhamma? A. The Lion Capital. B. Dhamma Mahamatta. C. Numismatics. D. Gandatindu Jatak. Answer. B. Dhamma Mahamatta. Q84. What did 19th century Indian historians find challenging and exciting about early India? A. The god of rains. B. The possibility of an empire. C. Near the Bay of Bengal coast, Bengal. D. Central and South India. Answer. B. The possibility of an empire. Q85. What was considered typical of empire in Mauryan archaeological finds? A. 150,000. B. 6th and 4th centuries BCE. C. Rajas. D. Spectacular stone sculpture. Answer. D. Spectacular stone sculpture. Q86. According to source 1, some great officers of state measured the land as is done in which country? A. Egypt. B. Ashmaka. C. Pathan. D. Pepper. Answer. A. Egypt. Q87. Why were officials appointed to supervise woodcutters and carpenters? A. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. B. Early centuries CE. C. The Navy. D. South India. Answer. A. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. Q88. What principle did Asoka believe would ensure the well-being of people in this world and the next? A. Intense study of Dhamma and instructing people in it. B. Large landholders and village headmen. C. Dhamma. D. South India. Answer. C. Dhamma. Q89. For about how long did the Mauryan Empire last? A. 150 years. B. Megasthenes. C. Coins were in circulation rather than being hoarded. D. They were issued by the same ruler. Answer. A. 150 years. Q90. By which century BCE did new chiefdoms and kingdoms emerge in several parts of the subcontinent? A. 2nd century BCE. B. Raids on neighboring states. C. Brahmi. D. Introduction of transplantation. Answer. 2nd century BCE. Q91. Which new chiefdoms emerged in Tamilakam? A. 6th and 4th centuries BCE. B. Pohar. C. Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. D. Arbitrating disputes and leadership in warfare. Answer. C. Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. Q92. What does the term Tamilakam refer to? A. 600,000. B. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. C. The ancient Tamil country. D. 2nd century BCE. Answer. C. The ancient Tamil country. Q93. What sources inform us about the early Tamil states? A. Masittuvan. B. A capital city. C. Early Tamil Sangam texts. D. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. Answer. C. Early Tamil Sangam texts. Q94. What is the role of a chief in a chiefdom? A. Indo-Greeks. B. Arbitrating disputes and leadership in warfare. C. Communication. D. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. Answer. B. Arbitrating disputes and leadership in warfare. Q95. How does a chief typically gather resources? A. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. B. Devanagari. C. Receives gifts from subordinates. D. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. Answer. C. Receives gifts from subordinates. Q96. Who ruled over parts of western and central India from circa 2nd century BCE to 2nd century CE? A. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. B. Satavahanas. C. No. D. 1500 years. Answer. B. Satavahanas. Q97. Who were the Sakas? A. A people of Central Asian origin. B. Son of God. C. Spectacular stone sculpture. D. Early centuries CE. Answer. A. A people of Central Asian origin. Q98. From where did Satavahanas and Sakas derive their revenues? A. Long distance trade. B. Harishena. C. Major rock edict. D. A form of government where power is exercised by a group of men. Answer. A long distance trade. Q99. According to Greek sources, how many foot soldiers did the Mauryan standing army have? A. Gifts made to religious institutions. B. Early Tamil Sangam texts. C. 600,000. D. By following the course of urine and dung. Answer. C. 600,000. Q100. According to source 2 from Athashastra, how did elephant guards trace wild elephants? A. Iron-tipped plowshare. B. Pandyas. C. The land where a jana sets its foot or settles. D. By following the course of urine and dung. Answer. D. By following the course of urine and dung. Q101. Which rulers exemplified the strategy of identifying with a variety of deities to claim high status? A. Kushanas. B. James Prinsep. C. Jharkhand. D. Bimbasara. Answer. A. Kushanas. Q102. During which period did the Kushanas rule? A. 150,000. B. 12th. C. Girnar. D. Circa 1st century BCE 1st century CE. Answer. D. Circa 1st century BCE 1st century CE. Q103. Where have colossal statues of Kushana rulers been found? A. A deity. B. Egypt. C. Middle of the 1st millennium CE. D. Mat near Mathura and in Afghanistan. Answer. D. Mat near Mathura and in Afghanistan. Q104. What title did many Kushana rulers adopt? A. Aramaic and Greek. B. They were issued by the same ruler. C. Bihar. D. Devaputra. Answer. D. Devaputra. Q105. What does Devaputra mean? A. Son of God. B. Dhamma. C. 1830s. D. Pathan. Answer. A son of God. Q106. The Kushanas were possibly inspired by the rulers of which region who called themselves sons of heaven? A. Shift to plow agriculture. B. China. C. Tapping the gold mines of Karnataka. D. Land granted to a Brahmana. Answer. B. China. Q107. By which century is there evidence of larger states, including the Gupta Empire? A. 4th century. B. Kannauj. C. Central and South India. D. Managed transport and provisions. Answer. A 4th century. Q 108. What were Semanters in the Gupta Empire? A. Silippadikaram. B. Major rock edict. C. Ganas or Sanghas. D. Men who maintained themselves through local resources and provided military support. Answer. D. Men who maintained themselves through local resources and provided military support. Q 109. Water, Prashastis. A. The Navy. B. They were issued by the same ruler. C. Chariots. D. Compositions in praise of kings in particular, and patrons in general. Answer. D. Compositions in praise of kings in particular, and patrons in general. Q 110. In source 3, Silippadikaram, whom did the people show respect to by bringing gifts? A. Gahapati. B. Asoka. C. Ganas or Sanghas. D. The Pandya chief Senguttuvan. Answer. D. The Pandya chief Senguttuvan. Q 111. Which epic written in Tamil describes the visit of the Pandya chief Senguttuvan to the forest? A. Harishena. B. Menander. C. Egypt. D. Silippadikaram. Answer. D. Silippadikaram. Q 112. Figure 2.4 shows a coin of which Kushana king? A. James Prinsep. B. East of Ujjaini. C. Kanishka. D. Raids on neighboring states. Answer. C. Kanishka. Q 113. What is depicted on the reverse of the coin in figure 2.4? A. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. B. A deity. C. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. D. Managed transport and provisions. Answer. B. A deity. Q 114. The Prayaga Prashasti is also known as what? A. House of the king. B. Daughter of Chandragupta II. C. Kushanas. D. Allahabad pillar inscription. Answer. D. Allahabad pillar inscription. Q 115. In which language was the Prayaga Prashasti composed? A. Samudragupta. B. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. C. Sanskrit. D. Spectacular stone sculpture. Answer. C. Sanskrit. Q 116. Who composed the Prayaga Prashasti? A. Harishena. B. Satavahanas. C. Tamil Nadu. D. Masittuvan. Answer. A. Harishena. Q 117. Harishena was the court poet of which ruler? A. Samudragupta. B. Men who maintained themselves through local resources and provided military support. C. Asoka. D. 5th century BCE. Answer. A. Samudragupta. Q 118. Of which dynasty was Samudragupta arguably the most powerful ruler? A. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. B. Vakatakas. C. Gupta dynasty. D. Reporters. Answer. C. Gupta dynasty. Q 119. In the Prayaga Prashasti, Samudragupta is compared to Kubera, who is the god of what? A. The land where a jana sets its foot or settles. B. Ganas or Sanghas. C. Wealth. D. Along routes of communication. Answer. C. Wealth. Q 120. Samudragupta is compared to Varuna, the god of what? A. Aramaic and Greek. B. East and North Africa and West Asia. C. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. D. The ocean. Answer. D. The ocean. Q 121. Who is Indra according to the Prayaga Prashasti? A. Greek and Kharosti. B. 1830s. C. The god of rains. D. Pali. Answer. C. The god of rains. Q 122. Who is Yama according to the Prayaga Prashasti? A. 150 years. B. Growing use of iron. C. The god of death. D. Indian Pandits. Answer. C. The god of death. Q 123. Figure 2.5 depicts a sandstone sculpture of a king from which dynasty? A. Silippadikaram. B. Kushana. C. Rajas. D. Indo-Greeks. Answer. B. Kushana. Q 124. What does the king hold in his hand in figure 2.5? A. Raids on neighboring states. B. A sword. C. Reporters. D. Hard surfaces such as stone, metal, or pottery. Answer. B. A sword. Q 125. In what language were the Jataks written? A. Pali. B. Rajas. C. Raids on neighboring states. D. Chandragupta Maurya. Answer. A. Pali. Q 126. Around what time were the Jataks written? A. Middle of the first millennium CE. B. Pepper. C. A higher ratio of survival of saplings and higher yields. D. Elephants. Answer. A. Middle of the first millennium CE. Q 127. Which Jatak story describes the plight of the subjects of a wicked king? A. 4th century. B. 4th century BCE. C. Ganditindu Jatak. D. Elephants. Answer. C. Ganditindu Jatak. Q 128. In the Ganditindu Jatak, what did the subjects complain about to the disguised king? A. Attacked by robbers at night and tax collectors by day. B. 6. C. Intense study of Dhamma and instructing people in it. D. 12th. Answer. A. Attacked by robbers at night and tax collectors by day. Q 129. What was one strategy to increase agricultural production from circa 6th century BCE? A. Taxes and tribute. B. 600,000. C. Shift to plough agriculture. D. Ganas or Sanghas. Answer. C. Shift to plough agriculture. Q 130. What tool was used to turn the alluvial soil in areas with high rainfall? A. Shrenis. B. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. C. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. D. Iron-tipped plowshare. Answer. D. Iron-tipped plowshare. Q 131. In some parts of the Ganga Valley, how was paddy production dramatically increased? A. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. B. Pohar. C. Iron-tipped plowshare. D. Introduction of transplantation. Answer. D. Introduction of transplantation. Q 132. The Sudarshana Lake was an artificial reservoir located in which present-day state? A. Daughter of Chandragupta II. B. Guptas. C. Gujarat. D. Magadha. Answer. C. Gujarat. Q 133. Which Saka ruler claimed to have got the Sudarshana Lake repaired using his own resources? A. A sword. B. Rudradaman. C. Sanskrit. D. 100,000. Answer. B. Rudradaman. Q 134. The inscription recording the repair of Sudarshana Lake by Rudradaman was in which language? A. Greek and Kharosti. B. Agriculture. C. Sanskrit. D. The Pandya chief Senguttuvan. Answer. C. Sanskrit. Q 135. A 5th century inscription mentions that a ruler of which dynasty repaired the Sudarshana Lake again? A. No. It is missing from there. B. Prakrit. C. Gupta. D. Yodayas. Answer. C. Gupta. Q 136. What does transplantation ensure in paddy cultivation? A. A higher ratio of survival of saplings and higher yields. B. Weakening political power. C. No. D. Guptas. Answer. A. A higher ratio of survival of saplings and higher yields. Q 137. Which areas did not adopt the iron plowshare till the 20th century? A. A sword. B. Economic change and marginalized groups. C. Devanampiya. D. Semi-arid parts of Punjab and Rajasthan. Answer. D. Semi-arid parts of Punjab and Rajasthan. Q 138. What agriculture was practiced by those living in hilly tracts in the northeastern and central parts? A. Ho agriculture. B. Nagapiya. C. Asoka. D. Punch marked coins. Answer. A. Ho agriculture. Q 139. What term was used in Pali texts to designate small peasants and large landholders? A. The Golden Mountain. B. Taxes and tribute. C. Gahapati. D. The Pandya chief Senguttuvan. Answer. C. Gahapati. Q 140. Who emerged as powerful figures and often exercised control over other cultivators in villages? A. Raids on neighboring states. B. Large landholders and village headmen. C. Bana Bhatta. D. Guptas. Answer. B. Large landholders and village headmen. Q 141. In early Tamil literature, Sangam texts, what were large landowners called? A. Megasthenes. B. Vellalar. C. Communication. D. Words to make the meaning of sentences clear. Answer. B. Vellalar. Q 142. What were plowmen called in early Tamil literature? A. Stones, bones, cow's hair, chaff, ashes, and so on. B. Ozavar. C. 6th century BCE. D. Ashmaka. Answer. B. Ozavar. Q 143. What did the term Adimai refer to in early Tamil literature? A. Nagapiya. B. The ocean. C. To extend agriculture to new areas. D. Slaves. Answer. D. Slaves. Q 144. What is the Manusmriti? A. None of the above, no capital listed on map for Matsya. B. 5th century BCE. C. Pali. D. One of the best known legal texts of early India. Answer. D. One of the best known legal texts of early India. Q 145. In what language was the Manusmriti written? A. Sailing around. B. The persons who commissioned them. C. Sanskrit. D. Iron tools and weapons. Answer. C. Sanskrit. Q 146. When was the Manusmriti compiled? A. None of the above, no capital listed on map for Matsya. B. Ho agriculture. C. Gujarat. D. Between circa 2nd century BCE and circa 2nd century CE. Answer. D. Between circa 2nd century BCE and circa 2nd century CE. Q 147. According to Manusmriti, what should a king have buried at intersections to avoid boundary controversies? A. Gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass, shell and terracotta. B. Stones, bones, cow's hair, chaff, ashes, and so on. C. James Prinsep. D. Gahapati. Answer. B. Stones, bones, cow's hair, chaff, ashes, and so on. Q 148. A Gahapati was the owner, master, or head of what? A. The Pandya chief Senguttuvan. B. Chandragupta Maurya. C. A household. D. Gifts made to religious institutions. Answer. C. A household. Q 149. From which centuries of the Common Era do we find grants of land being made? A. Major Rock Edict. B. Guptas. C. Early centuries CE. D. China. Answer. C. Early centuries CE. Q 150. Most surviving land grant records were given as grants to whom? A. Samudragupta. B. Nagapiya. C. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. D. Harishena. Answer. C. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. Q 151. What material were many of these land grant inscriptions recorded on? A. Copper plates. B. Long distance trade. C. 6th century BCE. D. A deity. Answer. A copper plates. Q 152. Most early land grant inscriptions were written in which language? A. Contemporary Roman emperors and Parthian rulers of Iran. B. Sanskrit. C. Indo-Greeks. D. Iron-tipped plowshare. Answer. B. Sanskrit. Q 153. Who was Prabhavati Gupta? A. The god of rains. B. One of the best known legal texts of early India. C. Daughter of Chandragupta II. D. Arbitrating disputes and leadership in warfare. Answer. C. Daughter of Chandragupta II. Q 154. Into which ruling family was Prabhavati Gupta married? A. Baskets filled with various gathered forest fruits. B. 4th century BCE. C. Vekatakas. D. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. Answer. C. Vekatakas. Q 155. According to Sanskrit legal texts, were women supposed to have independent access to land? A. Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. B. Northwest of Meerut. C. Householders, peasants living in the village. D. No. Answer. D. No. Q 156. What text is a biography of Harshavardhana? A. Bimbasara. B. An anonymous Greek sailor. C. 6th century CE. D. Harshacharita. Answer. D. Harshacharita. Q. 157. Who was the court poet of Harshavardhana and author of Harshacharita? A. Kanauj. B. Banabhatta. C. An economic crisis due to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. D. No. It is missing from there. Answer. B. Banabhatta. Q. 158. Harshavardhana was the ruler of which place? A. Kanauj. B. Masittuvan. C. Sailing around. D. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. Answer. A. Kanauj. Q. 159. In which language was the Harshacharita composed? A. 6. B. East of Ujjaini. C. Sanskrit. D. 1830s. Answer. C. Sanskrit. Q. 160. What did the village wives bear on their heads according to the Harshacharita excerpt? A. Yodayas. B. Copper plates. C. Baskets filled with various gathered forest fruits. D. Ganga. Answer. C. Baskets filled with various gathered forest fruits. Q. 161. What is an agrahara? A. The third. B. Masittuvan. C. Land granted to a Brahmana. D. Pastoralists, fisherfolk, hunter-gatherers. Answer. C. Land granted to a Brahmana. Q. 162. What exemptions were typically given to an agrahara? A. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. B. Pleasant to behold. C. Pali. D. Managed transport and provisions. Answer. A. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. Q. 163. Some historians feel land grants were a strategy adopted by ruling lineages for what purpose? A. Devaputra. B. Pepper. C. To extend agriculture to new areas. D. On important long-distance trade routes. Answer. C. To extend agriculture to new areas. Q. 164. Other historians suggest land grants were indicative of what? A. One of the best-known legal texts of early India. B. Silippadikaram. C. Weakening political power. D. Pepper. Answer. C. Weakening political power. Q. 165. According to source 8, which village did Prabhavati Gupta donate? A. Bimbasara. B. Gyanas or Sanghas. C. Shrenis. D. Denguna. Answer. D. Denguna. Q. 166. To whom did Prabhavati Gupta donate the village of Danguna? A. Sword. B. Mat near Mathura and in Afghanistan. C. Rajgir. D. The Acharya Chanaliswaman. Answer. D. The Acharya Chanaliswaman. Q. 167. On which lunar day of the bright fortnight of Kartika was the village of Danguna donated? A. Chariots. B. 12th. C. Rudradiman. D. Sailing around. Answer. B. 12th. Q. 168. Which group of people were typically beyond the reach of officials or Samanters? A. Chariots. B. Pastoralists, fisherfolk, hunter-gatherers. C. An economic crisis due to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. D. Numismatics. Answer. B. Pastoralists, fisherfolk, hunter-gatherers. Q. 169. In Prabhavati Gupta's inscription, the term Gramakutumbinas refers to whom? A. Householders, peasants living in the village. B. Southern tip of India. C. The lion capital. D. Arthashastra. Answer. A. Householders, peasants living in the village. Q. 170. What was the village of Denguna exempt from providing to touring royal officers? A. 5th century BCE. B. Grass, animal hides as seeds, and charcoal. C. Bay of Bengal. D. Silippadikaram. Answer. B. Grass, animal hides as seeds, and charcoal. Q. 171. Who engraved the charter of Prabhavati Gupta? A. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. B. Kanauj. C. Chakradasa. D. Egypt. Answer. C. Chakradasa. Q. 172. Many of the urban centers that emerged from circa 6th century BCE were capitals of what? A. Central India, Deccan. B. Wealth. C. Mahajanapadas. D. 600,000. Answer. C. Mahajanapadas. Q. 173. Where were virtually all major towns located? A. Along routes of communication. B. Afghanistan and Baluchistan. C. Mat near Mathura and in Afghanistan. D. Large landholders and village headmen. Answer. A. Along routes of communication. Q. 174. Which city was located on riverine routes? A. The Pandya chief Senguttuvan. B. Everywhere. C. The god of rains. D. Pataliputra. Answer. D. Pataliputra. Q. 175. Which city was along land routes? A. Ujjaini. B. Early centuries CE. C. Asoka. D. 6. Answer. A. Ujjaini. Q. 176. Which city was near the coast, from where sea routes began? A. Land granted to a Brahmana. B. Dhamma. C. Chandragupta Maurya. D. Puhar. Answer. D. Puhar. Q. 177. What fine pottery with a glossy finish was probably used by rich people? A. Ozawar. B. The Golden Mountain. C. Northern black polished ware. D. Growing use of iron. Answer. C. Northern black polished ware. Q. 178. What was Pataliputra known as when it began as a village? A. Jharkhand. B. Ruthlessly ambitious kings. C. Ganas. D. Pataligrama. Answer. D. Pataligrama. Q. 179. In which century BCE did Magadhan rulers decide to shift their capital to Pataliputra? A. Gupta rulers. B. 5th century BCE. C. House of the King. D. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. Answer. B. 5th century BCE. Q. 180. Which Chinese pilgrim visited Pataliputra in the 7th century CE and found it in ruins? A. Gahapati. B. Shan Zhang. C. Devanagari. D. 6. Answer. B. Shan Zhang. Q. 181. According to the inscription in Fig 2.6 from Mathura, who installed the image in a shrine? A. Punch-marked coins. B. Coins were in circulation rather than being hoarded. C. Nagapiya. D. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. Answer. C. Nagapiya. Q. 182. What was the occupation of Dharmaka, the husband of Nagapiya? A. Pataligrama. B. Goldsmith Sovanika. C. Ozawar. D. 1st millennium BCE. Answer. B. Goldsmith Sovanika. Q. 183. What materials were used to make ornaments, tools, and weapons in early cities? A. Growing use of iron. B. Silver and copper. C. Gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass, shell and terracotta. D. Patna. Answer. C. Gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass, shell and terracotta. Q. 184. By which century BCE do we find short votive inscriptions in a number of cities? A. Aramaic and Greek. B. Egypt. C. 2nd century BCE. D. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. Answer. C. 2nd century BCE. Q. 185. What do votive inscriptions record? A. Men who maintained themselves through local resources and provided military support. B. Gifts made to religious institutions. C. Bharukacha. D. Early centuries CE. Answer. B. Gifts made to religious institutions. Q. 186. What were guilds or organizations of craft producers and merchants called? A. Officer in the Mint of the East India Company. B. Introduction of transplantation. C. Shrenis. D. Arbitrating disputes and leadership in warfare. Answer. C. Shrenis. Q. 187. What did guilds, Shrenis, probably do? A. C. 321 BCE. B. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. C. The lion capital. D. Yodaya. Answer. B. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. Q. 188. According to Map 3, which major kingdom ruled over the Mathura and Kannauj regions? A. Silippadikaram. B. Intense study of Dhamma and instructing people in it. C. Guptas. D. Afghanistan and Baluchistan. Answer. C. Guptas. Q. 189. Where was the Vikataka kingdom primarily located on Map 3? A. South India. B. Central India, Deccan. C. Kushanas. D. The Golden Mountain. Answer. B. Central India, Deccan. Q190. Which town is located near the coast of the Arabian Sea on map 3? A. Economic change and marginalized groups. B. Bharukachha. C. The Golden Mountain. D. A higher ratio of survival of saplings and higher yields. Answer. B. Bharukachha. Q191. Which town was the capital of the Satavahanas according to map 3? A. No, it is missing from there. B. A. C. Exempted from paying land revenue and other dues to the king. D. Pathan. Answer. D. Pathan. Q192. Where was Chandraketugad located according to map 3? A. Near the Bay of Bengal coast, Bengal. B. By following the course of Uran and Dung. C. The lion capital. D. First millennium BCE. Answer. At near the Bay of Bengal coast, Bengal. Q193. Where is Vidisha located relative to Ujjaini? A. Vikatikas. B. Attacked by robbers at night and tax collectors by day. C. A deity. D. East of Ujjaini. Answer. D. East of Ujjaini. Q194. Which kingdom is shown in the far northwest on map 3? A. Uzavar. B. Kushanas. C. Rigveda. D. Punch marked coins. Answer. B. Kushanas. Q195. Shishupalgarh is located near which body of water? A. Coastal Orissa. B. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. C. Arthashastra. D. Bay of Bengal. Answer. D. Bay of Bengal. Q196. Overseas trade routes from the coastline extended across the Arabian Sea to which regions? A. The Lion capital. B. East and North Africa and West Asia. C. Mahajanapadas. D. Saithis and Sattavahas. Answer. B. East and North Africa and West Asia. Q197. What were successful merchants designated as in Tamil? A. Masittuvan. B. Iron-tipped plowshare. C. Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. D. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. Answer. A. Masittuvan. Q198. What were successful merchants designated as in Prakrit? A. East of Ujjaini. B. Erythrean. C. Reporters. D. Saithis and Sattavahas. Answer. D. Saithis and Sattavahas. Q199. Which spice was in high demand in the Roman Empire? A. Pepper. B. Shan Zang. C. Tamil Nadu. D. Central and South India. Answer. A. Pepper. Q200. Who compiled the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea? A. Ganas. B. An anonymous Greek sailor. C. Middle of the first millennium CE. D. 600,000. Answer. B. An anonymous Greek sailor. Q201. What does the Greek word, Periplus, mean? A. The god of death. B. Reporters. C. Silippadikaram. D. Sailing around. Answer. D. Sailing around. Q202. What was the Greek name for the Red Sea? A. Pleasant to behold. B. Deccan Plateau. C. Pepper. D. Erythraean. Answer. D. Erythraean. Q203. In which present-day state is Kodumanal located? A. Contemporary Roman emperors and Parthian rulers of Iran. B. Kashi. C. Tamil Nadu. D. Ganas or Sanghas. Answer. C. Tamil Nadu. Q204. Which coins were amongst the earliest to be minted and used from circa 6th century BCE? A. Receives gifts from subordinates. B. 1838. C. Punch-marked coins. D. Beloved of the gods. Answer. C. Punch-marked coins. Q205. What metals were the earliest punch-marked coins made of? A. Egypt. B. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. C. Silver and copper. D. Northwest of Meerut. Answer. C. Silver and copper. Q206. Who were the first to issue coins bearing the names and images of rulers? A. Householders, peasants living in the village. B. A capital city. C. Prakrit. D. Indo-Greeks. Answer. D. Indo-Greeks. Q207. In which century did the Indo-Greeks establish control over the northwestern part of the subcontinent? A. 2nd century BCE. B. None of the above, no capital listed on map for Matsya. C. Between circa 2nd century BCE and circa 2nd century CE. D. Afghanistan and Baluchistan. Answer. 2nd century BCE. Q 208. Which dynasty issued the first gold coins in c. 1st century CE? A. Procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. B. Taxila. C. Macedonian. D. Kushanas. Answer. D. Kushanas. Q 209. Kushana gold coins were virtually identical in weight to those issued by whom? A. Megasthenes. B. Whether they are true, plausible or exaggerations. C. Silippadikaram. D. Contemporary Roman emperors and Parthian rulers of Iran. Answer. D. Contemporary Roman emperors and Parthian rulers of Iran. Q 210. Hoards of Roman coins have been found from archaeological sites in which part of India? A. Higher ratio of survival of saplings and higher yields. B. South India. C. Egypt. D. Stones, bones, cow's hair, chaff, ashes, and so on. Answer. B. South India. Q 211. Which tribal republic of Punjab and Haryana issued copper coins in the 1st century CE? A. 150 years. B. Yodayas. C. Major Rock Edict. D. Receives gifts from subordinates. Answer. B. Yodayas. Q 212. Which rulers issued some of the most spectacular early gold coins remarkable for their purity? A. Wealth. B. One of the best known legal texts of early India. C. Pali. D. Gupta rulers. Answer. D. Gupta rulers. Q 213. What is the study of coins called? A. Indo-Greek kings. B. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. C. Grass, animal hides as seeds, and charcoal. D. Numismatics. Answer. D. Numismatics. Q 214. From which century CE onwards do finds of gold coins taper off? A. The land where a jana sets its foot or settles. B. Stones, bones, cow's hair, chaff, ashes, and so on. C. Magadha. D. 6th century CE. Answer. D. 6th century CE. Q 215. Why are punch-marked coins so named? A. Meninda. B. Patna. C. Devaputra. D. Because symbols were punched or stamped onto the metal surface. Answer. D. Because symbols were punched or stamped onto the metal surface. Q 216. Figure 2.8 shows a coin of which tribal republic? A. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. B. Yodaya. C. Agriculture. D. Kharosti. Answer. B. Yodaya. Q 217. Figure 2.9 shows a coin from which empire? A. South India. B. Rajgir. C. Gupta. D. Dhamma Mahamatta. Answer. C. Gupta. Q 218. What might the decline in gold coin finds from the 6th century CE indicate according to some historians? A. Large landholders and village headmen. B. Because symbols were punched or stamped onto the metal surface. C. An economic crisis due to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. D. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. Answer. C. An economic crisis due to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. Q 219. What do some historians suggest as an alternative reason for fewer gold coin finds after the 6th century CE? A. Kashi. B. Grass, animal hides as seeds, and charcoal. C. Coins were in circulation rather than being hoarded. D. 1838. Answer. C. Coins were in circulation rather than being hoarded. Q 220. Most scripts used to write modern Indian languages are derived from which script? A. Devanagari. B. Economic change and marginalized groups. C. Brahmi. D. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. Answer. C. Brahmi. Q 221. Which script was used in most Asokan inscriptions? A. Brahmi. B. A sword. C. Iron tools and weapons. D. 6th and 4th centuries BCE. Answer. A. Brahmi. Q. 222. In which year was Asokan Brahmi deciphered? A. 1838. B. 2nd century BCE. C. Large landholders and village headmen. D. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. Answer. A. 1838. Q. 223. Who deciphered Asokan Brahmi? A. Rigveda. B. House of the King. C. Goldsmith Sovanika. D. James Prinsep. Answer. D. James Prinsep. Q. 224. Which script was used in inscriptions in the northwest of the subcontinent? A. Iron tools and weapons. B. Kharosti. C. Indo-Greeks. D. Satavahanas. Answer. B. Kharosti. Q. 225. Finds of coins of which kings facilitated the decipherment of Kharosti? A. Stones, bones, cow's hair, chaff, ashes, and so on. B. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. C. Indo-Greek kings. D. Pattern. Answer. C. Indo-Greek kings. Q. 226. In which two scripts were the names of Indo-Greek kings written on their coins? A. The god of death. B. Communication. C. Ozavar. D. Greek and Kharosti. Answer. D. Greek and Kharosti. Q. 227. Which language did Prinsep identify the Kharosti inscriptions as? A. Shan Zhang. B. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. C. They were issued by the same ruler. D. Prakrit. Answer. D. Prakrit. Q. 228. The symbol for which letter could be found in both Greek and Kharosti scripts for writing names like Apollodotus? A. Bay of Bengal. B. 150 years. C. A. D. Gandhara. Answer. C. A. Q. 229. What does figure 2.11 demonstrate? A. Religious institutions or Brahmanas. B. Bihar. C. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. D. By following the course of urine and dung. Answer. C. Asokan Brahmi letters with their Devanagari equivalents. Q. 230. Which script is used to write Hindi? A. Ruthlessly ambitious kings. B. Devanagari. C. One of the best known legal texts of early India. D. Land granted to a Brahmana. Answer. B. Devanagari. Q. 231. European scholars were aided by whom to read early scripts? A. Pleasant to behold. B. Taxes and tribute. C. Gupta dynasty. D. Indian Pandits. Answer. D. Indian Pandits. Q. 232. In Asokan inscriptions, the title, Devanampiya, often translates to what? A. 1830s. B. Beloved of the gods. C. Wealth. D. 8 years. Answer. B. Beloved of the gods. Q. 233. In Asokan inscriptions, the title, Piyadasi, translates to what? A. Pleasant to behold. B. Allahabad pillar inscription. C. On important long-distance trade routes. D. 600,000. Answer. A. Pleasant to behold. Q. 234. What do epigraphists sometimes add in brackets to translations of inscriptions? A. Words to make the meaning of sentences clear. B. Southern tip of India. C. The god of rains. D. The god of death. Answer. A. Words to make the meaning of sentences clear. Q. 235. In source 10, how is the term Pativedakas translated by epigraphists? A. Reporters. B. Report to him about the affairs of the people at all times. C. Deccan Plateau. D. Banabhatta. Answer. A. Reporters. Q. 236. What does the king Devanampiya Piyadasi say the Pativedakas should do? A. Receives gifts from subordinates. B. Elephants. C. Bimbasara. D. Report to him about the affairs of the people at all times. Answer. D. Report to him about the affairs of the people at all times. Q. 237. Figure 2.12 shows a coin of which Indo-Greek king? A. Coastal Arisa. B. Menander. C. 5. D. Gandhara. Answer. B. Menander. Q. 238. What must historians constantly assess about statements made in inscriptions? A. Whether they are true, plausible or exaggerations. B. Tapping the gold mines of Karnataka. C. Silver and copper. D. Allahabad pillar inscription. Answer. Whether they are true, plausible or exaggerations. Q 239. According to Asoka's order in Source 10, where will he dispose of the affairs of the people? A. 100,000. B. None of the above, no capital listed on map for Matsya. C. 1838. D. Everywhere. Answer. D. Everywhere. Q 240. Which title is often used instead of Asoka's name in his inscriptions? A. Sword. B. Devanampiya. C. Bharukacha. D. Men who maintained themselves through local resources and provided military support. Answer. B. Devanampiya. Q 241. By finding that inscriptions match in terms of content, style, language, and paleography, epigraphists conclude what? A. Stones, bones, cow's hair, chaff, ashes, and so on. B. Allahabad pillar inscription. C. Gifts made to religious institutions. D. They were issued by the same ruler. Answer. D. They were issued by the same ruler. Q 242. In Source 11, after how many years of ruling did Devanampiya Piyadasi conquer Kalingas? A. Raids on neighboring states. B. Avanti. C. 8 years. D. Baskets filled with various gathered forest fruits. Answer. C. 8 years. Q 243. In the conquest of Kalinga, how many men were deported according to the inscription? A. Ozavar. B. Harishena. C. Ruthlessly ambitious kings. D. 150,000. Answer. D. 150,000. Q 244. According to the inscription in Source 11, how many people were killed in the conquest of Kalinga? A. South India. B. 100,000. C. To collect taxes and superintend occupations. D. Pleasant to behold. Answer. B. 100,000. Q 245. Is the Asokan inscription depicting his anguish found in the present-day region of Arisa, Kalinga? A. No, it is missing from there. B. Asoka. C. Taxes and tribute. D. Shrenis. Answer. No, it is missing from there. Q 246. What is one technical limitation of epigraphy? A. Indian Pandits. B. Girnar. C. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. D. Kanauj. Answer. C. Letters are very faintly engraved, leading to uncertain reconstructions. Q 247. Do inscriptions generally record routine agricultural practices and daily existence? A. Pepper. B. Growing use of iron. C. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. D. Rajas. Answer. C. No. They usually focus on grand, unique events. Q 248. Whose perspective do the contents of inscriptions almost invariably project? A. Fortification walls at Rajgir. B. Chandragupta Maurya. C. The persons who commissioned them. D. Yodaya. Answer. C. The persons who commissioned them. Q 249. From the mid-20th century onwards, historians' focus shifted from histories of kings to what? A. Gandhara. B. A deity. C. A household. D. Economic change and marginalized groups. Answer. D. Economic change and marginalized groups. Q 250. What did Asoka devote himself to after the Kalinga War? A. Girnar. B. Gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass, shell and terracotta. C. Intense study of Dhamma and instructing people in it. D. East of Ujjaini. Answer. C. Intense study of Dhamma and instructing people in it. Chronology of the ruling dynasties, their time period and famous rulers in sequence. 1. Early Magadhan rulers circa 6th to 4th centuries BCE Bimbisara, Ajatsattu, Mahapadma Nanda. 2. Mauryan Emperor, 321 BCE to c. 185 BCE Chandragupta Maurya, Asoka. Note, two dynasties who ruled India after Mauryan Empire are Shunga dynasty, 185 BCE 73 BCE, and Kamvar dynasty, 73 BCE 28 BCE. 3. Indo-Greek c. 200 BCE to 100 BCE Menander, implied by coin. 4. Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas c. 200 BCE onwards Senvuttuvan, Chera chief mentioned in source text. 5. Satavahanas circa 2nd century BCE to 2nd century CE. 6. Sakas c. 100 BCE to 200 CE Rudradiman. 7. Kushanas circa 1st century BCE to 1st century CE Kanishka. 8. Gupta Empire c. 320 CE onwards Samudragupta, Chandragupta II. 9. Vakataka c. 4th to 5th centuries CE Prabhavati Gupta, Queen. 10. Chalukyas c. 500 CE to 600 CE. 11. Pallavas c. 500 CE to 600 CE. Note, the chapter also mentions the Yudayas around the 1st century CE, though they are classified as a tribal republic rather than a traditional dynasty, and Harshavardhana of Kannauj ruling. From circa 606 to 647 CE. Thanks everyone. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel for more such informative content. Take care everyone, have a great day ahead. Hey class 12th.